What if I told you you could reach more people and raise thousands in funding every month just by doing this one thing a few hours each week? That one thing has changed my life. It's helped me supplement my income, find my purpose, and make an impact, and I want to help you do the same. 7 years ago, I started working for a digital marketing agency where I helped companies around the world rank in search engines like Google through blogging and social media. Living the bulk of my days on the internet, I made friends with dozens of online influencers who shared with me the secrets of making money online and building a life of freedom and purpose. That's when I started blogging. I'm Alicia, the co-founder of Blogging with Impact, and with my fellow blogger Adrian, we're revealing these secrets to help you fulfill the purpose God has for your life. I'm excited for you to join me today as I go through this foundational step to clarify the vision for your blog. This is a first part of Module 1 out of 7 in our Purpose-Driven Blogging course, and today you get to watch it for free. Stick around till the end as I'll be sharing a special offer and a bonus that only those watching this video can access, so don't miss out.
There are several reasons why people start a blog, and maybe a few of these will resonate with you. The first is because of self-expression. Maybe you're really passionate about helping other pastors, and you want to teach them how to be a good leader in the church, from meetings to ministry. And maybe you have a strong opinion about a few things, and you really want a place to be able to talk about those and express yourself and your beliefs. And blogging is a great way to do that. And to be honest, a lot of times when I'm going through blogs, as I've been able to work with thousands of bloggers online, I've noticed there's not a lot of strong ministry-focused blogs. And so we definitely need Christians to step up in this field and start expressing their beliefs online. Another reason to blog is skill building. Maybe you've always wanted to write a devotional book someday, but you can't seem to get started. So let's say you wanted to write a book on Hebrews, and you're creating a blog to help hold you accountable. As you study, you can share what you learn and share your journey about writing your devotional book on your blog. Not only is this a great way to establish your audience, but you learn along the way, whether it is about your personal experience creating the devotion, or maybe you're creating different posts about Hebrews. And at the end, you're going to collect it all into a book and add some additional stuff and then sell your book. And not to mention, it will also help you become a better writer. The next reason people blog is to make money. And this is a big reason people do blog, because making money online is incredibly easy. And sometimes you can even do it just on the side. Both Adrian and I work full time. This is something we just do on the side, and yet we've been able to make thousands of dollars, and we can help you do the same. So what's your reason? Is it self-expression? Is it skill building? Is it to make money? Well, this is kind of a trick question, because it actually takes all three to keep yourself going. I'll admit it, blogging can be tough, but when you're able to express yourself, be passionate about something, and continue to learn and make money on the side, which always helps, that's what's going to keep you going in blogging. What to blog about? This is a big question we always get asked. And really, it's different for everyone. Online, there's niches everywhere. You can make money by talking about food. You can make money by talking about video games. You can make money about talking about blogging. Adrian makes money talking about coloring books online. You would not think about that niche probably when you first heard about Cleverpedia. But what should you blog about? So the best way to help you determine this is to go through our worksheet and talk about your interests. What interests you? Maybe it could be an old interest back in the day that you used to really be interested in. Maybe you really want to start a blog about what you're currently doing in the mission field. That would be your interest. Another area that you would need to write down is what the world needs. The world needs Jesus. That's an easy answer for you guys. But maybe your specific blog is a little bit different. Maybe you really need to think about what exactly, when it comes to your knowledge, what the world needs out of that. One of the reasons why we started Blogging with Impact is because The world needed a really authoritative blogging course that was hands-on and taught you everything you needed to know to get a blog up and make money and get traffic. The last area to fill out is how to make money. Of course, we talked about making money, and you may say, well, the Lord always provides. This could be his opportunity to provide you with money, is blogging. So really, in the intersection between all these three, that's where you're going to find your purpose. As between what your interests are, how your interests relate to what the world needs, and in that information, what can actually make money? What can you sell? Maybe it's a book, or maybe you're going to do ads. Of course, if you do ads, you definitely need to have a lot of traffic, so you need to learn how to create traffic on your blog. Maybe you need funding for missions. And just a way to do that is ask for donations through your site. And by posting about your ministry in your particular area, people will keep you top of mind. And when they're able to give, when the Lord lays it on their heart, they'll give it to you. So if you aren't sure exactly what you should blog about, here are a few questions to help clarify what you should blog about. The first one is, what blogs and books do you read? This will kind of help tell you what your interests are and what you kind of know already. Next, what problems do you want to solve? We talked about in our little tri-circle area with your passion and your purpose, what the world needs. And this kind of always is a question that people need to answer, because this is what's really going to drive traffic. If you just write about, what groceries you bought, people may not want to read that. But if you ask yourself, well, why would someone want to read about groceries? And maybe someone has a tough time budgeting when buying groceries. That's the problem you want to solve. So by answering what problem do you want to solve for your readers, it will definitely help clarify the angle you should take. Next, what do you want to learn or study? You do not need to be an expert to start a blog. A lot of people have this idea that, only bloggers are experts. But if you read about a lot of the blogs online, a lot of them started off of just areas that people wanted to learn about. And people have called this leading learner, where you're basically learning for the masses and sharing what you learn. So maybe that's where you are right now. Maybe you don't know a lot about what you kind of want to blog about, and so it's always kind of held you back. But don't let it. Let blogging put a fire underneath you to study and really engulf yourself in that area, and then share what you learned with the world. You shouldn't just keep that to yourself just because you're not a named expert in the field. And lastly, who do you want your audience to be? Maybe as a missionary, you are looking for funding, and so you're looking for people who would be willing to fund you. So by clarifying who your audience is as you create your blog, it will make sure that you actually reach the purpose of your blog. What's your why? This is the biggest question you have to answer in this course. You have to find your why power, because if you don't have a why, you will fail. I see so many blogs only last for a year because they just didn't have a strong why behind why they created that blog. So why do you really want to start a blog? Do you feel passionately about teaching others how to be a missionary? Maybe you're called to show Americans the need for overseas help and missions. Has God laid a passion in your life to be a biblical historian? Whatever that why is, you need to make it very clear, and you need to write it on your worksheets and keep it top of mind, because this is really what's going to create a great blog. Blogging is tough, and there will be times you're going to want to give up. I've been there, Adrian's been there, but hold in there. If you continue to put your action to your purpose, you will make an impact on so many lives. This course has been over a year in the making, and it actually started as a course on just driving traffic through Pinterest, but I couldn't get motivated to create it. I was just doing it for the money at the time, and there's nothing wrong with creating a blog for money. You need money to live, and you need money to further your purpose, but that's not your why. So when I remembered my reason, my why, it just sparked a renewal in creating this course. And the reason why I wanted to blog is because I feel really passionately about helping others realize their full potential and fulfill their mission in life, whether that's ministry, education, healthy living, or something else. And for those who read my blog, you might have seen me post my personal manifesto, which includes this line: I will add value to the lives of others and help those striving to bring about positive changes in the world. That's you. You are in my manifesto, and that's my why. And of course, you may have more than just one why. For example, the reason why I wanted to initially make money through blogging was because I eventually want to open up my own wellness center to teach people how to get healed through God's creation. So what's your why? You got to find out what it is and then harness it and use it to reach your goals. So in order to reach your goals, you need 3 things. First, you need to figure out your why and really write it down, clarify it, spend some time on that because that's important. Second, you need a plan, just like we did for the 21-day schedule of this blogging course. This is really important because if you just say, I'm going to start a blog and that's going to be my goal, a lot of times you might get discouraged. There's so much information online. You don't need new information sometimes. You need a plan. And that's why we really created this course. And then lastly, habits. So why habits? It seems like a strange one. We haven't really talked about it. Consistency is the key to your blogging success. So what kind of habits should you develop? Well, you need a habit of always sitting down at a certain time every week to blog and to do this course. Maybe you've noticed that Saturday mornings are a great time because, maybe the kids are watching Saturday morning cartoons. Maybe you have time to escape to a coffee shop or to your office just to get away and focus on blogging. Whatever it is, set a time that you would do this. For me, Saturday morning is my time to do this. And I mark it in my schedule. I don't let anything deter me. Habits is really what's going to make or break you. And if you just say, I'll do it whenever I get time, it's never going to get done. You have to prioritize it. Even after you're done with this course, I highly encourage you to keep that day marked off, keep it a habit, and continue to set a date with your blog and constantly spend an hour or 2 every week, maybe several times a week, to blog and to write posts or to share or to promote or to engage with your audience. And that's really where you're going to see your success, is by making this a weekly habit. So I'm sure you've heard the story of the tortoise and the hare. The tortoise was really slow and trying to win this race against the hare that was really, really fast. But the hare wasn't the one that won. The moral of the story is that sometimes slow and steady is really what matters. And that's why I mentioned only doing this once a week or maybe twice a week. As you're starting off, maybe you want to do it a little bit more to get your blog live. But keep it going, keep it consistent, even if it's only just that once a week. Because if you say, I'm gonna blog and I'm gonna do it every morning, 5 days a week, I'm just gonna put an hour in, that's a big commitment. And most likely you're not gonna be able to keep up with that because it's such a large shift from what you're currently doing. So tiny habits is what's gonna make a big difference in your life. So when it comes to your blog name, you may be asking yourself, well, should I be really niche then in order to be really specific about what I write about? Yes and no. You can tell at Cleverpedia, not niche at all. It allowed Adrienne to change what she's writing about really easy. So if you aren't sure exactly what you will be blogging about, maybe try to come up with a name that allows you to be a little bit flexible. Otherwise, if you're really positive you want to write about something, for example, my blog, I knew I wanted to write about DIY projects and healthy living, then go ahead, make it niche. Naming your blog is actually one of those things that people get stuck on because it is difficult to switch. So what are a few factors you should consider when deciding on a blog name? First, Keep it short and easy to say and spell. Now you may wonder, keep it easy to say, isn't this all digital? Well, you're going to be telling people about your blog, like I am to you today, DIY Home Health. So you really want to make it easy for people to say and understand. I actually told my mom when I first started the blog about my blog, and she said that she went to the site because I was telling it over the phone to her, and she's like, "Oh, strange, it has this weird icon on it. Where's your picture?" And I'm like, "Oh, Mom, I don't think you're on the right side." And she ended up going to a completely different website because she misheard what my domain name was. So once again, make it easy to say, easy to spell. Spell it out both in just how you would actually write it as a blog name and as the domain name, because you may see as the domain name, it looks really confusing. Maybe you have like double letters in there that just, look weird or are confusing to read. Next, make it brandable. This is something I regret and not when I focused on a keyword, I didn't really focus on the fun brandability of the domain name or the blog name. So instead, I now use a tagline for branding, guiding you through adulthood. That allows me to really clarify what my vision is for the blog. And, you can do the same. Now with Blogging with Impact, it's really prevalent what we do. We teach about blogging. So we have blogging in the domain name right there. One of the ways that you make your site brandable is by using your logo and color swatches to really create a cohesive look to your blog. So as you can tell, we have our logo that has the hexagons in it or polygons, and we create those polygons and use it all across our site. So that's our way to kind of make it brandable. Next, your domain name should match your blog name. Do not create a domain name that has a different blog name. It's really confusing to readers. A lot of times they'll look up your blog name and be like, "Oh, I can't find it." That's because your domain name is different, and Google might not be able to put the two together unless you blog for years. And then, Google will recognize your blog name to your domain name eventually, but we highly don't recommend it to be different. Stick with .com. .com is what we call a TLD, top level domain. There's .org, .net, .us, .global. There's so many different TLDs these days, but people are most familiar with .com. So unless you're in Canada or the UK where you have .uk, .ca, stick with .com, because when people hear your domain name, you don't want them going to say DIYHomeHealth.com when my real domain was DIYHomeHealth.org and not being able to find my domain name. Matter of fact, a lot of bloggers, after they get established and they're like, yes, we're sticking with blogging, a lot of them who do it full time, they actually buy all the domain names with the different TLDs. That means I would buy DIYHomeHealth.com, DIYHomeHealth.org, .net, .info, all the different ones. So if you eventually, your blog really takes off and you want to make sure that you keep that brand name, I would encourage you to go ahead and buy them and then just redirect that traffic. Of course, that's for later down the road. This course is really just to get you up and running. Next, avoid hyphens within the domain URL. So that would be like DIY-homehealth.com. A lot of times the hyphen can look really awkward in a URL and it's harder to remember to include a hyphen. And there was stipulation that hyphens broke up the keywords and therefore you wouldn't rank as well. Now, keywords don't have as much impact as they used to have in the domain name, but it does still have a little. You may find that sites that are really niche, I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head, that maybe have their keyword in their domain name and that's all they write about, tend to rank really well when you type in keywords that relate to that specific topic. But then again, like I said, they're stuck to that topic if they have that. And, it's not as necessary now as Google changes their algorithm up very, very often. Next, leave room to expand. We talked about Cleverpedia being a good name because it allowed Adrienne to be broad at first, write a whole bunch of different content to see what actually clicked with her audience, find coloring books as a niche, be able to write about that, and now she can expand as well. Again, if she just had Cleverpedia coloring books, she would be pretty stuck to just coloring books. So leave yourself just little room to expand just to make sure you don't get too niche. Also, make sure your domain name is available. Don't get your heart stuck on a particular domain name without checking it online. You can go to hover.com, or GoDaddy is also another popular site that people use. Bluehost, which is what we recommend since you get a free domain name usually when you sign up for your hosting account. You can look up your domain name in there, make sure it's available and doesn't cost a fortune. Domain names do vary in cost, and they actually vary in cost from site to site. Hover, might charge a little bit more for it than, say, GoDaddy. But of course, Hover usually has a better reputation than GoDaddy. Bluehost, they don't charge anything. They, give it to you free when you buy your hosting for the first year. And then, the following year they do charge. And maybe when they charge the following year, they charge a little bit more than what you would have gotten over at Hover. So keep that in mind in terms of what's available and how much it costs. And think long term, because it's kind of like renting. Sometimes they may up the price a little bit on hosting or on your domain name. So if you can buy multiple years, definitely do that, especially if you plan on blogging for a long time. And lastly, if you have an existing site, maybe it's your church site and you want to do a blog on that site, instead of doing a completely different website for your blog, just add your blog to that domain. Not only will it allow your church members to go and further their learning on your website, but also it will help your website rank better in the search results, because you remember Google loves fresh content, Google loves niche content, and it will begin recognizing your church as very authoritative on the subject. So if you can, start it on your existing site. Now, a few things to help you create your domain name that you can think about is these two formulas. The first one is use your name, your actual name, with what you want to blog about. For example, Josh in the Jungle. Let's say Josh is a missionary in Africa, and he wants to write about his journey being a missionary in that area, helping preachers in that area. And so his name is actually going to be in the domain name, because the blog is actually about him and what he's doing in that country. So joshinthejungle.com would be really great. It's short. It's easy to say, it's easy to write down, very clear when you see it in a URL look, and it's kind of clear on what Josh does, but kind of also leaves a little bit of mystery, a little bit of room there for him to further expand. Another way is to use a noun of what your blog is about with a memorable adjective. So this is an actual site here, redletterchristians.org. They use .org because they're an actual organization and not necessarily just a blog. But I really love the example of this as a adjective plus noun domain name. So red letter would be the adjective, though it's a little bit unconventional adjective. And then Christians would be the noun. So try to think of a way that you can combine these different formulas with what you had in mind. And, if you have questions, feel free to reach out to us about your domain name.
Why do I put such a focus on finding your why? Because we know if you try to appeal to everyone, you'll appeal to no one. Confusion is the enemy, and creating a clear vision is the best way to grow your blog. In our course, we walk you through step by step how to set up your blog, grow your audience, and make money online from anywhere. Our course is unlike any online. First, we're experts. We know the ins and outs of the industry and can get you where you want to go with the best tips and practices that only the pros know. 2, this course involves a show and tell type of learning. I'm setting up a blog right along with you so you can literally see and follow every step as if I was there in person. And 3, not only do you get the information you need, but we also have an action plan that'll keep you on track to your goals. We are so confident that this course will help you successfully set up a blog that we offer a money-back guarantee. Our purpose-driven blogging course is usually $199, but today, because you are here taking your first step on your blogging journey, we want to offer you a special 25% discount that would lower the cost to just $149. This will be the only time you can secure this discount. We believe in your purpose. We know that this course, combined with real and consistent action, you can have a big impact on the lives of others. And that's our mission here at Blogging with Impact. Don't let another day go by where you feel like you could be doing more to fulfill your purpose. In addition to the discount, Adrienne and I have researched 100 ministry-related blogging topics to help you get started, and we'll add it as a special bonus if you sign up today. You can only secure the discount and the bonus if you click the Buy Now link at the bottom of this screen. Once you leave, it will no longer be available to you. Perhaps you've tried starting a blog in the past, but it didn't go well. We can help you avoid the painful process of trial and error and dabbling with just playing it small. Our purpose-driven blogging course comes with 50 easy-to-navigate videos that walk you through setting up your blog, including your theme, creating a logo, and doing keyword research so you can create posts that rank in the search engines. We also help you create a newsletter and a gate, and then we tell you the 5 different ways that Adrienne and I make money through our blogs. Maybe you think it's just not the right time to take on a blog. I thought the same thing about this course. I'm recording it right now, 5 months pregnant, but then I realized there is never a right time. You have to make time for what's actually going to have the greatest impact on others and yourself. You can stay stuck in your dreaming phase, seeing everyone else around you succeed, and knowing each morning you are not living up to your potential. Or you can implement our roadmap that takes the guesswork out of creating a successful blog and start changing lives and unlocking your freedom. One of the things that I regret most in my blogging journey is not starting sooner. I hope this course helps you avoid that regret. Talking about mistakes, that's the next video in our course, the biggest mistakes people make when starting their blog. Do you know someone who needs to hear this video? Maybe you have a friend whose worship music or words could move thousands, but they need a way to share it. We can help. Send this video for free using the share link below, and they will have access to the discount and the bonus that you also are getting access to today. Nothing excites me more than helping bloggers move forward and make an impact. I passionately love this work, and I'm thrilled we get to take this journey together. If you're ready to start your journey creating a blog, click the Buy Now button and prepare to be a mover and a shaker.